Rush Limbaugh is also frustrated with Michelle Obama's references to slavery in her speech at the DNC, although he has a slightly different angle on it than Bill O'Reilly. So let's listen.
No matter when or what the occasion, they can't stop talking about slavery. And largely in a context of, hey, you know what? It isn't settled yet. Hey, you know what? We haven't fixed it yet. I mean, that's their starting point. And I think that's a no-win situation for us because we've made great strides. This country has made phenomenal strides since then. Imagine that your wife has an affair, but you and your wife get together and you decide that you're going to forgive her. You're going to look past it for the sake of the marriage and your kids, and you move forward. He said, okay. Now imagine, sir, every argument you have, you continue to remind her that she's to blame for everything because she's the one that had the affair. I said, your relationship doesn't have a prayer if you can't let it go. If all you can do is continue to remind her what you've already forgiven her for, then the days of your relationship are over. And the grievance industry they don't want solutions. They want to be able to do just that, no matter what progress, no matter what agreements, no matter what. They don't want to acknowledge that anything has been done. And that's how I hear the Obamas.
So can I just say that's the exact opposite of what Michelle Obama said. Michelle Obama said, we've made great strides. We went from having nothing and having to build this White House to living in the White House and two beautiful black daughters playing around in the yard. What a wonderful country. What great progress. And she was, in fact, talking about it in the context of, we don't have to make America great again. It's already great. How much more could she celebrate the country? But the very mention of the word slavery triggers for Rush Limbaugh's and the Bill O'Reillys. Like, oh, there they go again, with this. Hey, dude, she didn't say any of that. That's just your guilt that you're projecting out. But Rush, you didn't do the slavery. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So far as we know.
So, I don't hear somebody talking about slavery go, what do you mean? Well, are you accusing me of something?
Yep.
Right. But Rush, you didn't do it. Nobody now did it. You don't have to pretend like you're guilty about it. There's obviously something inside of you where you think, I'm involved in perpetuating racism, so you're taking it personally. We didn't say it, you do it. It's so obvious. So now, on to his core argument. Now, if you want to bring up, does slavery still have an effect? That's not what Michelle Obama brought up. You brought it up.
Yep.
But then I can answer that question for you. Look, it's any rational person knows that there are socioeconomic conditions that arise because of the history of any country and any ethnicity within that country. I can give you dozens of examples in different countries. But in this case, right now, the average white household has about $150,000 in wealth. A lot of that is in their house. You know what the average African-American household has in wealth? On average, about $11,000. So when you are born into an African-American household, you're born into a situation where you're at an enormous disadvantage. Now, I know what some conservatives think. Oh, yeah, of course, they're lazy. No, you schmucks. Anyone who has studied this will tell you that, of course, that if this group had no wealth to begin with, literally, because they were slaves, and then they were discriminated against for 100 years, which you will agree, Jim Crow, separate water fountains, you can't have these jobs, et cetera. They clearly were, and you can't have as good an education. And then you begin to fix that in the 1960s, and then we've had 50 years of progress, but obviously not enough. You now get to a point where, yes, some African Americans have wonderful opportunity, which we all celebrate. But obviously, as a whole, we have not made as much progress in getting to a point where they have as much opportunity as the average white person. That's okay. We're all going to get there together. Yeah. But when you guys scream like, what are they complaining about? Well, then I guess we have to explain it to you because you're devoid of any of these facts and any rational understanding of how history works and the situation that we're in today. You don't have to feel guilty about that. You could actually join us to make that better. But that's not what you want to do. You want to say it's no big deal, ignore it, it's not a real problem. and let's just move on.
Rush Limbaugh loves to portray himself as this tough guy, but he's a fragile, fragile man. And I love that you use the word triggered, because that's exactly what happened. These nut jobs that whine about, oh, trigger warnings and everything, they get triggered. When a simple mention of slavery triggers you to the point where you get that defensive, you're a fragile man. And you're right. He is obviously he's the one feeling guilty. And this is his way of getting defensive when obviously her message was so positive. She's talking about the progress the country has made.
Ironically, he's in the grievance business.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's what he does
Right.
every day on the show. Oh my God, boo-hoo, us, persecuted Christians, persecuted white people, persecuted Republicans. Oh, the war on Christmas.
This was a grievance. This whole thing that he just
Yeah.
said was a grievance.
Yeah, probably lasted about 3 hours, too.
Probably.
Also, this is my day of talking about like foundational things, but I think we can explain his reaction to that, and also the constant conservative reaction to the apology tours that Obama goes on or other Democrats go on. And it reminds me of a book that I read that I think was written by Al Franken, one of his books back before he became a senator. And it was about how a lot of people who care strongly about their country, they see it as like a parent or a part of their family, but that you can love your parent in different ways. And some people love their parents like adults, understanding the good sides, but also understanding the faults and the flaws and being able to accept that and talk about it. But some people love their parent like a 4-year-old. They love their country like a 4-year-old loves their mom, where they're great and they're the best. And how dare you say anything? How dare you acknowledge that maybe she's an alcoholic? No 4-year-old's ever like, well, yeah, she drinks too much, but she's a good person inside.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, they cannot accept any criticism. If you acknowledge historic faults in the country or that they were wrong to go to a certain war or something like that, that's an apology tour. And they think that it weakens the country instead of strengthening it by allowing us to learn from our mistakes.
You know what's interesting, though? You know, you have Rush Limbaugh freaking out over the word slavery because he takes it as a criticism of America. But at the same time, you have a candidate on the Republican side whose whole motto throughout this entire election, his slogan throughout this entire election is "Make America Great Again." America sucks, and I'm going to make it great again, right? So when you get the criticism from a white male who is allegedly similar to you ideologically, well, then the criticism is warranted.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a black woman, our first lady, actually saying something positive about the country and how far we've come, we can't have it because you mentioned one negative word.
Well, because we understand what he means by make America great again. The white core of America is still just as great as it's always been, but it's been sullied, it's been adulterated by the addition of bad elements from the South and East.
Well, what Ann Coulter calls the browning of America.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
disgusting.